He's stupid right now. There we go, that's better. Alrighty, I'm gonna open that back up. How you doing, Nat?
Very
Nat.
tired, but I'm here.
Hooray!
Okay, so, basically, quick review. You guys, had continued along the road. Fen received a message from her mom. Battled a couple of chimera. Eventually made it, and Fen finished a book all riding on the back of rhubarb.
Yeah.
There were some
Ganged up on the
magical candy shenanigans.
Ganged up on the dwarf, tricked the dwarf, was mean to the dwarf. We'll make sure we all got that clear. Everybody doesn't like the dwarf.
That's not necessarily true.
Point taken.
There was a good chance it could have been something useful that happened or funny. It was still funny, but
Still ate it. And still ate another one.
But yeah, you eventually made your way into the forest, and you fought a very large frog-like creature at the river, and continued on along the road until Fen spotted what looked like a ruin of some sort through the trees. So Pip slowly approached before being attacked by a strange tentacle-like viney plant creature, and as she screamed, Alicia to approach quickly and banish it. That's where two more of them appeared and managed to grasp many of you in their tentacles, and you slowly fought them off, including the one that was banished after it came back, and then proceeded to search around through the ruins. Pim and Crom managed to find a few scraps of items, as well as a very well blended in trap door that looked like it probably been used like a couple more recently than the ruin might suggest, and you all decided to take a short rest. So as you're sitting there kind of resting up, it's actually Fen that notices first off, because of your wild passive perception, that you catch just out of the corner of your eye a bit of kind of like purplish pinkish dust suddenly falling to the ground, and hear just this like the faintest of popping sounds, like a pop, from the direction of where you noticed Bran had been sitting. And when you look over to where you saw her settle down to rest, all you see is what looks like the grad pad, the rod of the Arbor Abode, the chaos amulets, and a folded piece of parchment that on closer inspection has all of your names written on it.
All?
Yep.
Ran?
Oh.
Did y'all just see the where did Ran go?
Is this
What was
another
that
spell?
sound?
We would be familiar with the concept of portaling, right, Karen?
Yeah, you would. You all understand the concept of portaling, and it's just
the associated sounds and
dust.
Crom is going to run over there real quick. And does he see it laying there?
The note or the amulet?
Yeah.
Yes, and you actually feel a kind of warmth from where your holy symbol is underneath your armor, or not holy symbol, your order symbol, and a kind of strange feeling of familiarity with something that's only ever been described to you.
Does Pip see this?
This is going to be absolutely insane.
You see,
Crom is going to try something that is really, really stupid.
you see Crom rush over. And does anyone pick up?
He's
do I see
grabbing
him
the
looking
amulet.
at
He
the
tried to grab the amulet.
Do you grab it?
Yeah. But I tried to do it sneakily.
I'd say you easily all see him try and sneakily take the amulet. You're all staring at it too, so that helps.
Is probably going to pull out her sword.
Okay.
Alicia's gonna cast Hold Person on Crom.
Make Make a wisdom saving throw, Crom.
Would be wisdom.
Yep. Gotta beat 16.
Yeah, I'm screwed.
You never know.
I'm screwed.
Yeah. So you suddenly
I'm not the
your
wisest or the slyest of critters. I'm strong.
so your muscles suddenly lock up.
Pip, grab the amulet.
It's locked
does
in my
so.
fist. That's gonna lock up. When you
Have
hold
you-
me, you're
have you
holding
picked it
everything,
up,
and it was in my fist.
Yeah, it would be kind of locked in his fist. Like it's kind of dangling from his fist right now.
Pip is gonna try and get it out of his fist.
Y'all can't have that.
I'll say it to you. Can't talk right now. Only lost a minute, but we'll say by the time he's probably pretty strong and it's kind of locked in a paralyzed person's grip. We'll say by the time it wears off, Pip, you managed to get it out of his hand.
Well, I get another save every 6 seconds, right?
Oh, that's true. I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. We'll say yeah.
Yep.
Make another wisdom saving throw. While Pip is trying to get it out of your grip.
Ben is gonna go and pick up the
Non-Elry
leftover
dice.
paper and
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so as you're just starting to kind of trying to start getting it out of his fist, yeah, you feel your muscles relax and you can move again.
My other hand goes and closes over yours and says, "Nothing personal, lass, but this one, I must hold on to."
Crom, drop. And that's a command. Make another wisdom saving throw. Yeah.
So you drop the amulet.
My axe comes out. Lasses,
Oh,
I have
personal?
nothing against any of you,
Nothing
Okay, so do you
personal,
wanna
but this is
explain
ours.
stuff?
but that, my debt to that is greater than anything I could have towards any of you.
Crom, who do you work for?
That's why you've been following us this whole time?
The amulet was stolen from my people a long time ago, and when I saw it, I had to find out what was going on. It is now loose and unclaimed, and with that, I have to take it back and put it into my possession.
No, you don't.
Yes, I do, and I rage.
Oh god.
Yeah.
Alright.
Are we rolling initiative?
That's up to you all. But this is one of those things that I don't have.
Yeah. No, I get you. I get you.
You're talking about my entire religious world.
Yeah. Crom rages. Alicia's watching to see what Pip and Fen do. Because
There does not need to be a fight, and I won't go anywhere with it, but I will hold on to that.
So someone picked up the note, correct?
I did. Ben did.
Were you opening it?
That was the intention until, Crom picked up his axe and suddenly reading a piece of paper didn't seem that important.
Crom and Pip are probably having like this Mexican standoff.
We're standing here. This
Just
amulet is on
staring
the
at each
ground
other.
at our feet, and we're staring at each other.
Doo-doo-doo-doo.
If you remember this didn't go well for you last time.
What are you talking about, Crom?
We all fought not too long ago, and I hurt Pip really bad in that fight, if I remember correctly.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so you guys
Alicia's
had
like
that dream
narrowing
too?
her eyes. Like, not quite connecting. There's like a suspicion, but she's not quite connecting it.
I do not want this fight, but I will have it.
Ben is going to stomp her foot a little bit because it's been a really long walk to get here and go, Crom, sit down. Pip, sit down. Amulet stays on the floor. I'm going to read this note.
Alright, hold on.
Pip doesn't sit down until Crom does.
Well, Crom doesn't sit down until Pip's well away from the amulet.
She's not leaving that fucking amulet.
And that's where we're gonna be stuck forever. Read your note.
2 steps back from you. 2 steps back from you.
Class, I don't think we're moving, but you feel free to read your note. I won't start the fight unless somebody goes for the amulet.
Alright, I uploaded it.
Okay.
Do you want to read it out, or
This is not
shall
where
I?
I thought this was going tonight, guys.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you want to read it out, or shall I?
I can read it out.
Alright.
Okay. None of you touch that amulet. I'm gonna read this note. Okay. Let me just start this out by saying that I ain't sorry. I like you guys, but at this point, you're clearly prioritizing some bullshit destiny quest from the gods, and that's not me. I'm not some mythical champion of chaos, and I'm certainly not a hero. The only thing I am is pissed off that everyone and everything is telling me what to do with my life. Well, guess what, mother F's? This is my effing life. I don't swear him, Rand does. And I'll be damned if anyone tries to stop me from doing what I want with it. I'm going back to Thalion, not to join the Conduit, not to save the kingdom. The kingdom can die in civil war for all I care. I'm not going back from some holy quest either. The gods are all a bunch of self-centered pricks anyways. I'm going to save my family. Deimos and Phobos are the only people I have left, and I refuse to play that bitch's game to get them back. I'll get them back myself, even if I have to kill that bitch of a queen to get them. Do your own thing, save the world, whatever, but don't follow me. I care too much for you guys to force you into my problems. Now, I got some shit to get off my chest, and now that I'm not going to be around you assholes, I can say what's on my mind. Alacia, you need to is that ovary?
Ovary.
Ovary up and stop being a follower. You're one of the most badass people I know, and you shouldn't be pushed around by people weaker than you. Lead. Ben, you're perfect. Never change. Ben will just kind of laugh a little bit and reads that. Pip, you understand me more than most, and the only thing I regret is not getting to know you better. Out of all you guys, you were my best friends. Sorry for kissing you without consent. That was uncool of me. Maybe if you guys get done with whatever you need to get done, I can catch up and go on a proper date or some shit. I don't know. If Paragon ever comes back, somebody punch him in the face for me. Never liked him. Won't pretend to either. Crom, I don't know you very well, but you seem chill. Good luck. I've left you guys the grad pad and the amulet. With no F's given, Ran.
Okay, I gotta ask out of character really quick. Did Nathan write this?
Uh-huh.
Or did you?
Nathan wrote it.
Wow, that was good.
This is 100%
It
Nate.
felt very Nathan.
Yeah.
Crom gets a little crinkle in his cheek and goes, I didn't even think she knew I was here the whole time. Then right back to looking at Pip.
Then I'll kind of like just rub at her eye. I'm not crying. What are you talking about? Hold the note back up and put it in her pack.
Pip has like rage tears.
Alacia's just stunned. She looks like she's been cast hold person on herself. What?
So, yeah.
She left?
Seems like she left. Didn't want to try and deal with the conduit, I guess, and getting her siblings back. I hope she can make it, and we don't have to go rescue her from the freaking Thalion prison, too.
Probably will.
Probably. But for now,
I
Uh,
thought we agreed that we were going to help her with her sibling. Why did she just leave?
I mean, you can read it for yourself. I mean,
Yeah, go on. Go over there and read it.
Fuck off, Crom.
Crom, for some reason, Ran, thought you were cool. This is not cool.
I didn't say it was. This is not something I choose. This is something I have to
What do you want with the amulet?
It needs to be returned. It needs to be protected.
Returned where? To who?
To my clan and my people.
Until what end?
wasn't
From where it was stolen from.
Wasn't getting the amulet to someplace safe part of our original plan too?
Yeah. Where's this clan?
Me?
We're just outside of the city that I met you guys in,
I will say,
which is my
actually
brain is freezing.
all stratum. Actually, all three of you, because you were all there, would remember when you were talking to Adelaide, I think is her name. She mentioned whatchamacallit, that something about you having two items and that they were one order of three.
Oh yeah. There was the children and the. Oh, God, no.
Where are my notes?
I left my freaking notes at home.
Oh no!
Aww.
I'm not.
Mine are in a
I
box.
wasn't there. I don't know.
No. You know about you do know of the existence of the other orders, Crom, and their
Yeah.
names. You know they're the Order of the Azir Children,
Yeah, that
Order
one,
of the
that's
Prime Path, and you are the Order of the Enlightened Eyes. But yeah, you guys, if you guys do recall, you were told that there are a total of 3 orders that protect these artifacts.
Crom, do you have?
I slide my left hand off my axe, still holding it ready, and I can drop to it in a heartbeat. I reach up to my neck, and I pull the chain up out from underneath my armor and drop my order symbol down on the outside.
Do we recognize the
belongs-
symbol?
You roll a this is tough. If you're proficient in history, anyone that's proficient in history can roll a history check.
I am Nerd Fen to the rescue.
Oh,
Jesus, Alicia!
I'd say Laisha recognized it.
Yeah,
I have half proficiency. Does that count?
I'd say is it because you are a partial bard and you've been studying to become one. I'll say yeah, you can roll one too, but.
In fact, I forgot.
Alicia was looking particularly at the pictures.
Basically, I'll say, where is that? No, I'm pretty sure I came up with a symbol for it. Give me a second.
Aha.
So you never gave me what it isn't like a triangle with an eye. I thought that's what you said, or
think
am I
that's
something
what it
different?
was, yeah.
Illuminati.
Illuminati is what I thought. Trying to remember if it's in my notes. Give me a minute. I'm looking.
Yeah, I'm looking too. I don't know if I actually. No, I didn't actually come up with a symbol, so we're making it up now. It is basically, it's basically the symbol of an eye, just an eye. But it's like made all out of silver, and there's it looks like kind of a dark purplish gem in the center, like where the pupil essentially would be. And I will say it is glowing slightly, that kind of chaotic energy color.
Okay, everyone just hold on a second. Crom, we want the same thing as you in the thought of it. We never asked for this amulet. It was kind of thrusted upon us. We've been searching
Tell
for
me
a
about
long
it.
time.
My father dumped this job on me without ever having seen it himself.
Okay. How did your clan lose it?
It was stolen.
How?
I do not know the story. I just know it was stolen.
When?
Do I remember the story?
You just know.
I'm trying to
you
find
don't-
my
you-
notes.
You don't know the exact. I pinned a bunch of stuff for you, but you don't.
Yeah, I know. I'm
you-
going to the pins.
You
Where is
don't.
it?
You don't know the exact story. You just know it was stolen by agents of chaos years ago, like 100 or more years ago. It was like generations.
This is the Order of the Prime Path, right?
Order of the Enlightened Eyes.
The Enlightened Eyes.
would be the symbol. And Finn, with a history check, I'd say you're not recalling anything about
Yeah,
it right now.
I had to switch over browser, so that's why it took me a while to make that history check.
It's okay. And,
Just-
sorry, go ahead.
I will not.
Yeah.
I will not let it go into other hands, but I will not leave you either at this point.
Okay. Crom, I just want to make this clear. This entire time we've been trying to find a safe place to hide this amulet. And I'm inclined to give it to you, except your story is that you want to bring it back to the place where it was last lost.
That is something that I'm not comfortable with myself. But I know it belongs in the care of the enlightened eye.
Maybe so, but not in the place that it was stolen from.
I will say, side note, do you, I believe you had a vision, Pip, do you remember it? It's been a while, so. It was basically flashes of an underground cavern.
Right.
And,
That is-
sorry.
Am I remembering anything from that would have pertained to this
Basically,
conversation?
you remember, I'd say, just thinking about it now, you kind of, images of that vision, like just flashes of this underground cavern, and Adelaide telling you about, like, there's 3 champions, and their destiny is to take these artifacts into this cavern
Right.
for safekeeping,
Right.
basically. But you don't
What-
know much.
Didn't she kind of mention, almost in a way of like using these relics to destroy the relics and the beings that represent them in a weird way?
No, she said it was basically like, I'm trying to remember. It's been a while too. It's been a while. It's basically she told you that you had two artifacts. She could sense both that you had 2 artifacts on your person at that time, and it seemed from her point of view that it's possibly your destiny to bring these artifacts at some point in time, she does not know when, into this essentially magicless cavern where they literally, there was no way they could be stolen from, which didn't know how long or when that was to happen. It was just that some inevitable time they were to be taken there,
Okay.
basically.
Yeah.
And that
I remember her saying something, and maybe I'm misremembering it, but it had something to do with also like maybe not destroying, but like easing off the power of harmony and chaos so that they're less intrusive in the world.
It's basically that I think she may have actually told you that they carry fragments of their essence, so without that essence rejoined with them, they're less corporeal, I guess, less present in the world because of their power being slightly diminished, whereas if they were to be reunited, it could be bad.
It would start like the massive war again
Yeah.
between the gods.
Okay.
Yeah, basically.
Okay.
That's what she told
Alicia
you.
will relay this to Crom.
What you were told by Adelaide.
Yeah. She's gonna just start talking without having to repeat all that.
Makes sense.
Yeah, she just basically explains to Crom the not necessarily quest, but kind of the destiny that was told to them for them to do with these relics.
Prophecy. There you
Yeah,
go,
the
that's
prophecy.
the word. And I would say you would know that about the
clan-
prophecy.
My clan, my family, the Order of the Enlightened Eyes. Our job is to protect and hold the Chaos Amulet until it can be given to the champion.
But we We have a champion here.
I saw that it was on a Thalion. I would have
It was all
recognized that,
about
right?
Yeah, you would have actually felt a draw towards Ran at that time because of the amulet.
And the letter.
But I would
maybe
have known.
kind of
I would have
confirmed it a
known
little.
Rand's bloodline is Thalion, right?
Yeah.
I would have
Well,
surmised
no, you
that.
no, you wouldn't have known that where she was from just for looking at her.
The letter
Okay.
would maybe help him.
The
tip
the,
the
la-
guy.
yeah, the,
but-
lady,
Yeah.
the letter's going to push that last one because they're talking
Yeah.
about Thal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can at least
Our
make assumptions.
I know that there's a citizen, a Thalion citizen that carries the bloodline
yes.
of chaos.
Okay, but she's
But
not
my
here
job
anymore.
is to still hold that amulet until I can return it to safety, or until I can judge that a true champion of chaos is there to give it to. Half of why I was following you was to learn more and to see if the possessor of the amulet was a champion. I still have not come to that conclusion.
Well,
And
the
I still must hold the amulet until I do.
the only thing, and I hate to have this argument, not that you've had this argument with us yet, but I'm so tired of talking about who should be holding this amulet. But this here, Pip, she is the champion of equipoise. If anyone is a good moderator for who should actually be holding this chaos amulet,
All the more reason I cannot let it into Pip's hands.
why?
Because this is an amulet of chaos, not of
Echo boys.
This is not the charge of the Order of the Azure Children. This is the charge of the Order of the Enlightened Eyes. This belongs to my people and to my group and to this is our sworn duty.
I'm
This
just
is
worried
a
about it.
duty from the cradle to the grave.
I'm just worried about it going into the wrong hands again. And
Well,
It's-
as I have said,
yeah,
I will stay with you all. And if I fall, then she can pick it up off my dead body.
my only problem with that, Crom, is you just brandished a weapon on us, and we barely know you.
You cast a spell on me.
Because you brandished a weapon.
I didn't brandish till after.
That's true. But you were looting.
You cast 2 spells on me before I brandished.
Ran left that to us.
No,
We wanted to protect
Rat
it.
left it on the ground.
He left it to us. He didn't leave it to you. He doesn't know.
Doesn't matter. Whether he left it for you, whether he left it for anyone, it doesn't change my duty. I can't believe I say these words. This is not something I look forward in my day. I was praying that he was the champion and this was no longer our duty. Sorry. I meant, you know what I mean.
Yeah, it's alright.
I was praying she was the champion and this was no longer my duty. But even if she is, she's abandoned it. Now it is my duty again.
What if
Then we'll
we
take
give
the-
it...
Continue.
Oh,
Alicia.
go ahead, Fen.
Then we'll take like a deep breath and a deep breath out. And go, well, we know Alicia can't hold it because the whole harmony thing.
I don't want to hold it, either.
Yeah, I don't blame you. But we can't let it out of our sight, and I do not know if it is safe for Pip to hold 2 articles of gods. You know,
Probably.
however much gods they are. Anyways, Crom, you promise you're not going to leave us, right? You're not going to take this amulet and run.
I swear upon the souls of my kin.
A
I
little
swear
dramatic,
upon
but
the
okay.
clan. And I swear upon my future and my crafting ability, may I never raise a smith's hammer again if I break it.
How about
That was a lot.
instead of anyone holding it, we put it in Rob's bag and we all guard it.
Well, someone has to carry it, right?
Not
I
necessarily.
will not use it. I will put it in a pouch and I will secure it underneath my armor, and you will know where it is and you will know where I am.
Still
But I
have that
will
box.
not let it out of. I cannot let it out of my protection.
You know this means that you have to sleep up in the treehouse with us.
Oh shit! I didn't think about that.
We're not letting you out of that site if you have the amulet.
Can we have a screen in the treehouse? That's not one giant room up there you guys sleep in, is it?
It's one giant room.
One gigantic room.
There's no furniture at all.
I got a blanket.
Literally just
I'll figure out a way to hang a blanket.
If this is what you are comfortable with, this Pip and Fen, we have to make sure.
I also
That's the
swear to
amulet.
make whatever your quests will be my quests, and I will honor the words you have given to others.
Okay.
Well,
Um.
I'm not comfortable with this, but I don't see any other way of going forward.
Okay. Can we just do a quick visual vote? All who would like to see Crom hold the amulet but stay with us, raise your hand.
Ren raises her hand.
You were cutting in and out, Pip.
Pip raises hers.
Alright.
Does Crom raise his hand?
I get a vote? Sure. I didn't think I got a vote, but okay, yeah.
Go ahead. Okay, everyone but Alacia raises their hands, but Alacia will nod to it. Okay.
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 I slide Winter's Howl back into its holder at my back.
Well, hang on a second. Before we had someone wear the amulet, we originally had it in this lead box. You maybe want to put it back in that and put it in your pack?
That would make me a lot more comfortable.
I suggested the box a little earlier, but I think it probably got drowned.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think I heard you say that actually.
You
Wait.
still have the
So,
box.
who has
How big is
key
the
to
box?
the box?
I think I have the lead box. In my...
I don't think it had a key. It wasn't
Nope.
a,
No,
it
it
wasn't a
didn't.
lockable
It didn't.
box. It was just a lead box.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Fair enough.
How big is this box?
It's like
Very small. It's
It's-
just big enough to hold the amulet.
Yeah, it was
basically.
originally made for the amulet.
Yeah, it's not very big.
And Pip will pull it out and offer it.
Looking at the box, Kara, can I create a way to make a chain? I don't want to wear the amulet itself, but I want to have the amulet more protected than sitting in the back of my bag.
On your person, yeah.
Oh, is there a way for me to attach a chain to the lead box?
If you
or
had
a-
access to a forge, possibly.
in the future?
Yeah,
That's what I'm saying.
that's a problem.
I said,
Sorry,
here's
go
what I will do. If you will put it in the box, I will carry the box in my pouch until such time as we reach a forge, at which time I will create a chain that I will attach to the box, and I will wear it under my armor. I do not feel comfortable with it floating around in a backpack.
Okay.
This is my entire... I'm sorry. You're seeing a dwarf that you've seen is either very funny or very jovial the times that you've seen him, or silly somewhat, and almost tears of frustration at the way he has to be right now on his face. This is more responsibility than he ever in his life ever wanted. He just wanted to go out and learn new smithing tricks of other people. To
Join the party.
that's the image you see on his face at the moment.
You're now one of the graduates.
And I purposely looked at Pip and I said, "Is that acceptable with you, miss?"
First, for now, it's alright. And Pip will pick up the amulet and she'll place it in the box and begrudgingly hand it to him.
I will
Just
put it in a pouch and then try to find a way to get the pouch in a place where it's not going to get cut off of me by some frickin' thief somewhere. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'd say you can easily do that. Yeah.
Put it in your chest plate, maybe.
Especially a thief that I know is nearby.
just
You don't know.
one
I'm
stipulation,
sneaky.
Crom. I imagine there's still a lot you haven't told us, and you don't have to unload all right now. But no more fake names around us. You're part of the group, and I just ask that you would be honest with us.
Crom, he hangs his head. And then he pulls his axe out from its holder on his back.
Elisha casts Banish. No, I'm just kidding.
Drops to one
Pip
knee.
has a hand on a sword as he reaches for the axe but relaxes.
Lays the axe flat on the ground at Pip's feet, seeing how that was the most direct response, the most tension that we had at the moment.
Yeah.
He bows his head and says, "Please forgive my actions. I only did what duty demanded. But from this day forward, my axe is yours, and so is my life."
Really make
And
me
the
feel
awkward
like,
silence
"Stop."
ensues.
Sorry, what was that?
I said, and the
Wow.
awkward.
Alicia will just kind of walk over and just reach to touch like the tip of the axe hilt to lift it back up towards Crom. And she'll just kind of smile a little bit and nod. It doesn't say anything else.
Once we're done with whatever is next here and we have a chance to sit, oh my God, in that treehouse. I don't want to live in. Do I have to sleep? Okay, I'll sleep in
You
the
have
treehouse.
to.
Yeah.
Once we have a night where we can sit and talk, I will tell you what I can tell you.
Okay.
There are
Thank
things
you.
I cannot tell, but I will tell you all that I can tell you, and I will explain all that I can. For now, I think, why are we, I've been wanting to ask, why do we need to go down this hole in this place? What are we doing here?
We can't necessarily tell you that. We are under contract.
Yeah, magically bound. Not.
Actually, and that kind of brings
Roger
me
that.
to my second question, more to you and Pip and Fen. What are we doing now? Why? I don't know why.
We have a job.
Under
Don't
the
you want to
contract.
not? Yeah.
Contractually bound.
But the
If we don't finish it, names stay on that freaking piece of paper forever. I don't know about you. I've learned a few things from being an Ever Agile with all the freaking Feywild portals. Is if you don't write your name down on pieces of paper, you're not gonna finish the job for.
Oh yeah, Dad always told me never sign contracts. It's bad.
But technically speaking, I mean, Paragon and Ran are abandoning this contract as well, right?
Leave us to finish it.
It's just us.
I understand that I don't know everything there is to know about your contract, and I don't want to, and I know you can't tell me. But in general, contracts that I am familiar with, as long as somebody who has signed it completes the task, it completes it for all. It's only if the task is that way. If somebody dies while doing it, nobody has to suffer for it.
Got it.
No, we are very close to finishing it. This is.
You might as well.
Okay. If that's the group agreement, Alicia looks very frustrated.
Mm-hmm.
If you're to be a member of this group, then you're considered.
No,
You don't have to lay down your life or promise anything. Just as long as you don't betray.
I will, any group I'm a part of, my job is to be there, is to lay my life down so you don't have to. I hope to live. Don't get me wrong. I'm not looking to die. I ain't some crazy guy who goes running after kobolds in a mine. I look to live.
Well, good thing, because we're the crazy group that, created a peace
like
treaty with
kobolds.
kobolds.
Yeah.
I wonder how well that's gone.
Probably not well. I mean, they're kobolds.
I just
And
have
humans.
to point out, that was mostly Ran and Paragon's idea, so I hope we're not doing more of that.
I don't have plans to. No.
I
Okay.
feel like peace treaties between kobolds is a little below our pay grade now.
I will say I am sorry to the three of you. I did not get a chance to even talk to Ran, but she seemed like a good lass. And I know you all are good lasses. And I do not wish for a parting like this on anyone. And you have my condolences.
You'll get a.
Alicia's just tense. She doesn't say anything further on that subject.
With that said, if the goal is below us, I'm ready to lead the way if you wish.
I'll keep an eye on you, Crom. In a good way.
That'd be much better than the bad way. That dream was bad. You were not nice to me in that
You
dream.
guys had it too?
When Craw mentioned it, I was thinking maybe it was just like a weird coincidence, but
I don't know what you guys are talking about.
Well, at least one of us is gonna sleep tonight.
Alicia, where'd you get that bell?
I always had this bell.
No, you haven't.
You're very forgetful, Pip.
I even know that's not true. This girl hasn't forgotten a freaking hair on the top of my head since I've been around.
And don't you forget it.
I won't. Very incentivized to remember I am.
Did we
Alright.
rest before we continue?
This was at the end of a rest, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was
the
a short
rest.
Short rest, yeah.
What time is it in the day?
I'd say it's probably about. Wait a second. I have a time on here. Probably about this time. It's actually probably early in the morning at this time. It's about 9 o'clock in the morning.
Holy
Really?
fuck.
Jesus.
It's been a busy morning.
Yeah.
Very busy
my
morning,
God.
yeah.
We've had a lot happen to us today.
Uh-huh.
Alright, I suppose we may as well start making our way down then.
I
No
will
way,
check the
downtown.
trapdoor for traps.
Alright. Roll an investigation check.
Have expertise.
Bet you didn't see all that coming, Kara, did you?
No, not really. Off and on a little bit,
27.
maybe. Yeah, it seems like it's definitely not locked and it's not trapped. It just blends in very well with the floor. Takes you a moment to a little bit of a moment to find the ring to pull it up. It's got some weight to it. Do you guys go down?
It will slowly edge down. Are they like stairs leading down or
It's basically a ladder.
a ladder? Okay.
Yeah.
People start heading down slowly.
Pip,
Okay.
do you want Before you go, Pip, do you want to try to be sneaky on this, or for not being sneaky, maybe I should go first?
Want to be sneaky?
Well, if we're going to be sneaky, I'm going to be bad at it, but I can follow. I can follow a little ways behind everybody.
I would feel
We're
more
delivering a
comfortable
message, aren't we?
with Crom following Pip.
So, Pip, Crom, Fen, Alicia? Or.
Yeah.
Alicia doesn't want to be anywhere near the dwarf.
More so, that's her traditional place in the group. Far back.
Typically, it's behind Fen.
Yeah.
Alright, so as you start making your way down, I would say, Pip, you start getting lower and lower. It's probably a good 20-foot long ladder, I'd say. It is pitch black. You cannot see a thing.
And probably really cold, right? Because it's underground.
Yeah, a little chilly, yeah.
Pip will.
Am I able to see anything with my night vision?
Going down, you would just see the stone floor at the bottom. Well, stone kind of dirt floor.
I'll warn Pip when she's getting close to it.
And when she puts her feet on the ground, she'll slide out her short sword and activate the light.
Fen didn't. Oh, no, not Fen. But Pip, didn't you find the goggles?
Do we have goggles though?
No, I don't think so.
On the boat. We were on the boat.
I don't.
'Cause Fen found them and it didn't do anything for Fen. Fen gave them to Pip.
Oh yeah, I do remember that.
Ooh, 1 minute, I'm looking through my thing.
It was in like a random box that we found with a bunch of
I
wine.
remember you guys saying something about night vision goggles.
Oh, maybe you did
Yeah.
find it. Yeah, you tried to put them on, but it was like in the middle of the day.
Yeah, it was in the middle of the day, and for one thing, it didn't do anything for Fen.
I don't have anything in my inventory, but
You
I guess, have we
I'm
found
remembering
it?
it. You must have found goggles at night, yeah. Let's say you just remembered.
They were on your head the whole
Oh.
time.
Wait, what are these? Oh, I should probably put these on.
Yeah, let's say you guys kind of get down to the,
They're not attunement, right?
no, they're not. They're just usable items once they're on, when you say you put them on. Let's say you guys get to the base of the ladder and kind of filter out a little bit. It's a small little room. Probably from the ladder only about, actually it's fair size. About 35 feet to the other wall, and you do see there is a small lantern sitting on what looks like a cluttered table. It's only giving off maybe 5 feet of light, not even. It's really dim. But at this point in time, you don't actually see anyone down there. However, as you're all kind of filing out and kind of looking around, you hear a voice kind of out of the shadows, seemingly nowhere. Even with dark vision. Who goes there?
Well, this is something that you
The graduates?
Don't you
Plus
know
a
who
dwarf.
we are?
The voice just says, "Who?"
You know what? That's fair. We
Kinda panicked
came to
there,
deliver
sorry.
a message.
A message?
Let me look at the book.
While this is going on,
Woohoo.
Crom looks over at Fen and goes, Fen, what are the graduates?
Yeah, we had to deliver the message that we were given.
You weren't actually told what the message is. It's a sealed note.
Yeah, it's a sealed thing.
Still thing, yeah.
I'm looking at the rate of understanding right now.
Fuck, where?
It should just be a custom item in your inventory. Just this note.
The writ of understanding is in public
no.
handouts on the Discord.
Yeah. No, I'm saying the note would be an item in your inventory. But you
One of us
don't. You don't
has it.
actually
Oh,
have
right,
the writ of
right.
understanding.
Right.
You just
I
know what
have-
it looks like because you saw it.
letter to Vivian,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yep.
That's it.
It's a sealed letter. Yep.
What do you do with it, Pip? Do you just like wave it in the air?
We came to deliver a message to someone. To Vivian.
Message from who?
What's her name?
Was it the controller, right?
I think so.
Yeah. It's been a really long time.
Yes.
We actually
From
don't
the-
even know her name.
From the controller. Yeah.
He goes,
Yeah.
Vivian,
the controller.
You would try recognize. Oh, Crom, roll a history check.
Sure. Oh, hey, I've actually got proficiency in history. How did that happen? That didn't help.
Yeah,
Oh.
you. The name Vivian doesn't actually ring a bell. You're not sure. But yeah, it's the controller.
The controller.
Mhm.
Say. Yeah, I got this.
And that's when say the controller, or you hear the voice say the controller, and you hear kind of like a slight shuffling on the ground, and kind of a tall, slender, human woman just kind of steps out of the shadows, like seemingly at a like you all essentially have dark vision right now, but it seems like she just steps out of like nothing, like midair. But a tall, slender woman, fair skin,
That's not something I see every day.
narrow chin, thin nose, thin eyebrows, long black hair. It seems to be braided down her back. And she looks like she's got a longbow and a quiver slung across her back. And she's wearing what looks like kind of practical but elaborate clothing, like an ornate leather breastplate over top and kind of slightly ruffled, kind of like capri length style pants. Looks like the sleeves of a silk shirt are visible under the breastplate.
Does she look clean? Like a person who hasn't been staying in a cave?
She looks like she normally
Well put
would be,
together.
but it does look like she's probably been down here for a while.
Okay.
But she still like looks to be the kind of person that she may be living in a cellar, but she's taking care of herself type of idea with what she can. But she does have a similar pair of goggles to Pip over her eyes. And she's kind of, her eyes are kind of narrowed, and she has her hand held out for the note.
Pip will look around at Fen and Alicia and just like kind of asking, like, should I?
If I only like thumbs up, yeah, cool. And I like another shooing motion with her hands.
Yeah. I was gonna say shooing motion as well. The two shoes.
One brain cell and it bounces between the two of us.
Pip will kind of like square her shoulders and tentatively walk forward towards this human woman.
And she once you get her, she kind of takes the note, flips over, looks at the seal on the back, kind of nods slightly, kind of tears it open and just starts reading.
Without a candle? Wow.
Pardon?
Without a candle? Wow.
It's
Well, she's
just
got
a
the
wax
goggles.
seal.
Yeah, she has the goggles.
Yeah. When she finishes reading, she kind of folds back up and tucks it in.
I hope that's the
Inside a
Vivian you
pocket.
guys are looking for.
And says, she kind of looks. She looks like, I'll say, yeah, even Crumb, ironically, it's Ran that would notice. All of you will notice that she actually visibly both relaxes and tenses up at the same time as she finishes the note and surveys everyone. And she just says, "Were you followed?"
by him. And she points
and
at Crom.
she's kind of like eyes Crom.
It wasn't really following. It was more following from in front. Yeah, that's what I was doing.
He's now
He's
part
safe.
of the group.
He's okay. No, we are not followed.
You're sure he's all that followed you? From in front?
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Like, he can be trusted?
We had
We're
this
going to
conversation
trust
up there
him.
actually about like 10 minutes ago. Yes, for sure.
I can be you can trust that I will protect these lasses. That's what you can trust right now.
She kind of squares her shoulders a bit, kind of lifts her chin in the air. My dear dwarf, do you know who you speak to?
Not a freaking clue. And I don't care much, lass.
That's awesome.
Fennel just kind of like do like a look over to Crom and just like.
I'm gonna say
Okay.
at this moment, I will say
That said, these lasses like you, or have some business with you, so I will not harm you, as long as no harm comes to them.
she
hope
kind of
not.
laughs. I'm gonna say as you handed over the note, you all did feel like a magical weight lifted from your shoulders a bit.
Oh,
Hey.
thank God.
But
Except
she
for
said, "Yeah, no, Crom doesn't feel fuck all."
Crom feels a new magical weight placed upon him.
But then she's kind of, as she's like looking over, kind of looking at Crom, just ignores you, and she kind of checks the note and says, "Where's this tiefling friend of yours? Where's Ran?"
He went to finish other business.
Literally about 10 minutes ago.
She kind of like scratches at her, or pinches the bridge of her nose, and she's interesting.
Really.
So she just
Well-
asked about Rand.
Yeah.
Crom's going to take a closer look at her.
All right.
I'm looking for anything that would identify her with any of the three orders.
Roll a perception check.
Hot damn!
Oh,
You
shit.
don't see anything that would identify her that way. With a natural 20, I will say.
What you do notice is a fucking crown.
I'll say you do notice a very regal air about her, and she is wearing an amulet. Actually, she's wearing two neck kind of amulet pendants. One looks kind of magical in nature. It's kind of got like an eye on it. And then one looks
That
like...
reminds me, I forgot to put mine back. Did she react to seeing mine?
No. Oh,
Okay, good.
no, she hasn't seen it yet. Hold on. Give me a second.
I just realized I didn't put mine back.
Passive.
We were a little tense at the moment. I forgot.
It's okay. Actually, you're passive. She probably would have. She doesn't say anything. She hasn't said anything yet. She hasn't really reacted. She's been kind of busy. But you do see the one pendant that looks kind of magical in nature, but you do also see what looks like the symbol, the national symbol. That's kind of like essentially like a hammer and circle. What's the symbol?
Give me
of
the communist
Italian?
flag!
Oh my God.
Oh, the Russia!
What is the symbol of Italian? Where's the emote? There we go.
This battle brought to you by Dwarven Forge.
Oh, it's basically two crossed like hammers, basically. You see,
Okay.
you see that symbol around her neck. It looks very, like, indicative of someone of high station, if not royalty.
But
I'm gonna-
not my
I-
country, right?
No, you know that you would know it's the symbol, national symbol for Thalion. I will let you have another history check, seeing that.
And back to Elry dice.
It's not so bad. Let's say combined with seeing the symbol and recognizing it as someone of high station, you would know this is former but Queen Vivian Scarlet, who was up until recently the Queen of Thalion.
And thought to be missing. Was it?
Yeah, said to be missing.
Oh yeah, hold it. No, that Goddard is the one who just heard about that, not Crum.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I'd say most people at this point across the world have heard that she's gone missing. They just never knew where she was.
Crown makes a mental note of that to bring out at a later point in time.
Alright. What was I saying? She basically just
Here's the
said
tiefling.
She had last asked
Yeah.
about Ran.
that when you guys say that, she just says, interesting. Well, so what are your motivations then? What do you want to achieve?
We were mostly helping our friend Ran.
I see.
And also, we were contractually obliged to finish this and give you that note, so, glad we got that out of the way.
She
Did not
kinda,
manage to break contract before then.
she kind of smirks slightly.
I got a quote here. Give me a second. I got to look it up.
Is there anything that you would have a...
Well, we do. We need to remove that woman from my position, my throne, and I'm assuming since my friend sent you mercenaries heroes, she kind of
Questionable?
arches her eyebrow.
Well, we weren't exactly paid.
You're apparently clever. So
We have not managed to die yet.
So she kind of like closes her eyes at that, and says, and she kind of like sits down in the little wooden chair that's there and says, "Tell me, do you what would you do if you're in my position to take the throne back, the crown back?"
There are various.
You're cutting out.
Most of them not so quaint.
I think you cut out a lot there, Pip. I didn't hear what you said.
So there are various things you can do. Most of them not so queenly.
Ah, okay, thank you.
I take it you're not from Thalion, my dear.
I am not.
They really didn't cover how to reinstate a queen at Hawthorne.
She kind of looked, her eyes kind of flashed you, Finn, and she kind of smirks, smiles slightly, and kind of gives a sigh of almost like longing in a way, like missing something. And she says, "You went to Hawthorne, did you?"
All of us but Grom. He's the dwarf.
And Crom, you do know what Hawthorne
That'd be me,
is.
sister.
You just never went there. I've helped develop much of the curriculum at that school. There's still spiders in the basement.
Mm-hmm.
There are.
And ghosts in the
Excellent.
library.
Tell me, is my
Not
stash
spiders.
of blood wine still there?
I personally do not know, but I bet Rand would have.
Villain student, was she?
She was a guardian, wasn't she?
Yes.
Guardian. But
Interesting.
she liked blood wine.
It is a palatable, pleasurable drink.
Very iron.
That it is. you have to have the right vintage, the right age.
It's like licking a coin.
If it's a particularly
Really, lasses, we're going to talk
Fresh.
about wine now.
You have
What would
any
you
other
talk about?
topics?
she kind
Wait.
of laughs at that and says, dwarf.
Look, I ain't in this for your revolution. I'm not in it for you, princess. I expect to be well paid. Can you name that?
Not a
Oh.
princess.
I can certainly pay you well should we succeed in removing this thorn in my side.
I don't know about you lasses, but she's got my attention now.
So tell me, you mentioned helping your friend. What were you going to help your friend with?
Our friend has some siblings that are incarcerated. Unfairly, I might add.
I will say you kind of see your eyes flash for a moment, and Alicia, I will say you catch that it's kind of like a flash of sympathy, very briefly.
Okay.
And she says, I see. Well, family is important. I will admit, surprised, mildly, about your concern over a friend's family, but it is admirable.
Well, she's helped Hip's family too, so it would only be fair.
Out of character. It's the trauma bonding for me. Did not say that in character, but
Codependency for me.
She says, well,
Religious for me.
I would assume they're in the prison of despondence,
yeah.
which complicates matters. And I assume you're unaware if Zephora knows it is your friend's siblings that she has? You wouldn't know.
Ben just looks confused and does not know.
Yeah. Alicia is just very tense and concerned looking this whole time. She almost looks very weary to talk to this person.
Makes sense. Well, knowing that, I'm sure if we can remove that woman, I could easily immediately release them. It is technically my prison. Now, the question is, do any of you have ideas on how to remove her forcibly? Or do you feel confident in confronting her yourselves now? And sure, go ahead.
Are we doing that? And she'll look to the rest of the group.
It wasn't in the contract, but
I
if
assume
it
you
helps
were...
Ran.
I can't say that I really remember the meeting super well, but I was slightly under the impression this was maybe enough to get her siblings out. As it was.
It might have been, but I don't know if we can trust.
Well, now that Ran has gone off by herself, we can probably assume she is going to end up in the prison.
Yeah.
Probably.
She, Vivian kind of chuckles at that and says, if she's going by herself, I can assure you, she will not succeed in breaking in and breaking out anyone from that prison. It is well protected, shall we say.
Why would she even think that she could?
I have no
It's Ran.
idea.
She hasn't really been all there the last few weeks.
In canon, too.
Canonically, yeah. She kind of just suddenly shoots a look at Crom and says, "You dwarf, You carry a... That's a symbol for... related to chaos, is it not?
It's just a trinket of my family's.
I recognize the gem in the center. That's for chaos. Interesting. What would you see these ladies do? What would you see me do?
I've always said let's not go and ruin it by thinking too much.
Interesting.
Give me something solid to hit. I tried being reasonable once. I didn't like it.
We do have the dragon friend who said that she wanted to see everything reinstated. And we'll just kind of think out loud.
Dragon.
His name I cannot remember because my notes got left at home.
Have that one written down too. Just gonna find it.
Verbasin.
Yeah.
Verbasin?
Verbasin, yeah, that sounds right. What kind of dragon? Was it black by chance?
Bronze.
Bronze.
Interesting.
She was very friendly. We taught her how to play Go Fish.
And then she gave us fish.
Mm-hmm.
And I
Interesting.
taught her how to play the flute.
I see. Oh,
Do you know of a black dragon?
I know a couple of black dragons. They were my... I don't want to say pets, but companions of a sort.
Right.
Alicia just takes in like a long, shaky breath and just looks back at Ben.
It kind of tenses at the thought of her owning, well, not really owning, but like being in cohorts with chromatic dragons.
That's Ben's thoughts too. Just like, oh, okay.
They're quite
Interesting choice in pet.
majestic beings, really. Anyway, I'm not
Yeah.
sure where they are exactly. I'm sure they might be willing to help in some
Majestic is a
capacity.
word.
Pardon? Sorry?
Majestic is a word.
They're
One I would.
no matter what their inclinations, they are beautiful beasts.
They are. Their intentions, however, less so.
Not all dragons, even those are...
Hashtag not all dragons.
Oh my god. That was good. That was good.
Thank you, I've been sitting on that one.
They're... I take it you do not know much about dragons.
Only how to run away from them.
Yeah.
And
I
how to
mean-
teach the the metallic ones how to play Go Fish.
Basically, metallic good, chromatic bad.
I wouldn't separate them by chromatic and metallic being good and bad, necessarily, in this world.
Do you have
But-
any way of contacting your companion?
Unfortunately, it's something we'd have to go to their lairs, or one of their lairs, because I'm not sure they would work together. No, they wouldn't work together, that's for sure.
Alicia raises her hand.
She kind of
Why-
arches an eyebrow, kind of like a school teacher.
her hand like just lowers slowly. Why now? You've been in hiding for all this time. What did that letter say?
That letter? That letter said that she sends this message with a group of up-and-coming mercenaries. Heroes, possible. She says that you're young, but apparently, from what she's learned, she feels you may be of use to me. And I'm curious as to why.
Do we
Very.
believe her?
We can in?
Oh yeah.
Insight check.
Alicia does not question that.
11.
Seems like she's telling the truth. As far as you can tell.
Don't trust.
Actually, I think it. I was gonna say Alicia already assumed that she was lying, but maybe it would be good if she tried an insight as well.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, she's telling the truth.
Oh shit.
Just, I'd say you can tell that she's probably summarizing. She's not saying
Yeah.
word for word what the letter says, but she's telling the truth.
If
Crom
we
really
were-
doesn't care.
Yeah. Crom is like grooming his beard.
Oh, on some
If-
beef.
If
Wondering
I
where
were
that disappeared to.
if I were to assume that was true, is the plan that you and the conduit have to overthrow this empire, or at least the current leader, entirely based on us?
I would say there is no exact plan. I've been trying to figure out all these months.
You think we're just an option? Then we'll
Let's see.
suggest trying to relay between the Queen and Alicia.
It
Because she knows
seems
Alicia's
yes.
slow.
It seems that my friend thinks that you might be an option to develop some sort of plan. It's rather difficult to do so when you're in hiding, sadly.
Speaking of, you've had all this time in hiding. Have you thought of any plan to overthrow
The
this
only
imposter?
plan I can think of that is the most viable, although likely difficult, is, and which goes along with our customs, of course, is force her off the throne, and generally, to force someone from such a position does require them to be forced to submit, or most likely killed. It's just our way.
How did you survive then?
I
How did-
am clever. I am not stupid. I know when I am being... what's the word? I know when someone is clever enough to, and talented apparently, to avoid my defenses and protections to usurp me,
Oh.
sadly. I knew
You're not mad that we killed the two things up there, are you?
what things.
Okay, good. They weren't your. Never mind. Not your protection.
No, this
Just
forest has
some-
many dangers.
So they were
Just my
scary
luck
things
the
to
way
say.
today is going that I killed a queen's pet.
And what if we say no?
I mean, I can't stop you, but I'll just have to find some other way to deal with this problem.
Okay.
And if we say yes, what happens then?
Then we develop a plan. I assume, hopefully, well, not hopefully, we go after her. If you feel you're ready for such a task. I mean,
You said
have-
that this woman is talented.
she...
How?
I know she's very powerful in the arcane and magic of some sort. I'm not entirely certain of how. I know she can make herself look like anyone else, which is something I'll be working on. Which is how she got in the first place. I she does, I believe she's human, like me, as far as I'm aware. She's born to a noble house. She speaks into the minds of those near her. And she's incredibly secretive. But then again, so am I. She kind of smiles at that.
I would like to speak with my friends privately before we give you an answer.
She kind of like gestures a hand. And says, by all means.
You're not going anywhere, right?
Of course not. She kind of goes back to like looking at what looks like possibly like a map or something on the table.
I assume
Alicia
that we
will-
walk away. Alicia.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
can
I'll
probably
do a
walk,
little
probably walk away to a
cutscene.
corner. It's actually a fair-sized cellar.
Oh, Alicia will actually start heading back up.
All right.
Okay. So being back in the old shack.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts? I don't like this.
No.
Just, well, I mentioned that kobold seemed a little below our pay grade. This seems below our pay grade.
A little
I-
above.
I'm worried that we're just replacing a bad dictator with another bad dictator. And exactly what Fen just said too. I agree. I've never even considered something as ridiculous as this.
I'm gonna say that you would all know just from studying at school, especially Alicia, because you would have taken foreign affairs, you would know that Thalion is very specifically, it's a matriarchy, it is very specifically a dictatorship.
Yeah.
But anyway, just in case.
Oh, foreign affairs, my love.
Alicia
Would
learned a lot
we-
of this information off of cheat sheets.
Probably.
Do we know anything about Vivian? Like what her style of ruling was like?
It
Was
was
like a peaceful time.
comparably, it was very much, she was I would say that you know that, where's that history check again? What'd you roll? Oh wait, no, that was Alicia. I'm gonna say roll a history check.
All of us?
Yeah, everyone. Even Crom. Go ahead.
History.
Really? Emily knows so much more, but apparently Fen does not.
This is something you weren't really paying attention to in school. You're like, oh, it's just Stallion. I'll say,
Bunga's
remarkably, Crom actually knows. I'll choose whether or not to release this. You know that Vivian was actually one of the few rulers of Zalian that, while she was considered at Hawthorne's standard, because she used to be a deputy headmistress at one point, and the leader of the villain track, while she's considered a villain, it's understood that not all villains are necessarily evil, per se, and she was a villain that understood the necessity of working with other nations, other kingdoms, and working within laws and society, and less chaotic, I say. More like a
pretty
lawful
peaceful.
evil type of thing. And it was relatively peaceful considering the culture is can be a little more on the violent side, depending.
I imagine the
area.
conduit still thrived pretty well, if not maybe even better back
Probably
then.
thrived even more, maybe a little less
Yeah.
human trafficking, but Crom wouldn't know anything about the conduit. But that's what Crom would know, is that it was comparatively more peaceful, and trade flourished.
I guess
How do I phrase this?
You can either say it directly or you can summarize.
Well,
Wrong
Lassus,
finishes.
I don't know if this helps or not, but she's a cold-hearted pain. But if you're gonna have a cold-hearted pain, she was the best kind to have. Does that make
Okay.
sense?
Here's my stupid thought. What if it was neither of them?
Who would you suggest otherwise?
I mean, I don't
Yeah,
have
I'm
it
going to
needs to have
say
both.
that power abhors a vacuum.
I know.
And you're
I'm not
talking about a
suggesting.
place that isn't going to say, let's have elections next week and figure out how how to make everything better for everybody. It's a place that is a little corrupt, and it takes a little corruption to run it. If you're gonna have corruption run it, though, she is the best kind of corruption to do so. Now, beyond that, Lassus, I'm staying out of this one. I'm just here for whatever you point, I swing axe.
I do appreciate your opinion and thoughts, Chrome.
To be fair, there is a war coming with this new queen.
If we can prevent that, that would be ideal.
That would be saving a lot of lives.
I just wish. I mean, not even going into how we would even do something like that, but I wish we could maybe find someone, I don't know, like Ran, but obviously not Ran because she would never do it, to fill the void.
One of the things I've learned from Hawthorne and from traveling is that sometimes it's okay to have a little bit of bad. And sometimes that little bad creates some good. I mean, look at Ran. I mean, a lot of us thought, chaos was completely bad, but Ran, she had some good in her. Beneath her exterior, there was some good in there, and she did a lot of good, even when she was causing complete chaos. I know she drugged that soup.
I'm
But
not talking about that.
I think she did that more for comical reasons,
yeah,
Drug
but
rather than any malice.
yeah. But sometimes it's okay to have that little bit of bad because sometimes it balances out to do something good.
Or
And right now, that something good could be stopping the war that's coming. That's taken Paragon. That's
or
probably
better
going to
to
take
know
many
what you
others.
know than the one you don't.
Yeah, that too.
Well, what if we make it worse?
There's always that, but what if we make it better?
Well, again, dwarf on the side. If we actually live through this and we make it worse, I'd say by the time we're done, we'll be good enough to make it whatever afterwards. Or to fix what we are, or to make another change if we have to.
If anything, we'll have a queen in our debt.
Never a bad thing, Les. Never a bad thing.
People look up and around. Can she see out of the canopy?
I'd say the trees here are close by or fairly sparse apart, but there are still the 50, 100-foot tall trees. So not really. It's the canopy above, it's pretty high up there. It's pretty thick.
She's more looking around for the dragon. The bronze. Was it bronze or brass?
One of the two.
One of the two. Looking for a metallic.
goldish
Bronze
color.
written down.
I think it's bronze, yeah.
Yeah, she's looking for that Vivason.
Yeah, perfect.
See if she's anywhere
do
near.
Not see. I think roll a perception check. Who's a bronze dragon?
If you get a 40, you see her in the horizon.
She is
Out of
in
24.
the clouds.
I say
24, does that count?
I'll say you look around and you don't see a dragon.
Except for the red one coming down.
Well, in this case, I think it would be green because forest,
Oh, right, yeah.
which would
It's
probably
black
be
because
even
it's-
worse.
The dragons.
All
Green or
right.
black,
No,
which
yeah.
would be worse, I think. It's smart as fuck.
I'd say you
I
don't
don't-
see a dragon.
No dragon. Okay.
I'm not fully
There are
convinced.
ways to contact her, but
Yeah. We could probably send her, but it's not important right now, I think.
I'm not fully convinced.
Oh,
It doesn't sit right with me. I don't know. Maybe I'm being irrational, but I don't. At least with these amulets, I don't know. Maybe that's something better to focus on. I mean, we have Crom here now, right?
we we could potentially do both. I mean,
Okay,
it gets a little tricky, but
Potentially
assuming
finding allies elsewhere.
yeah.
assuming that we do go through this, how are we even to start? What is? We're going to kill a queen?
Well, not necessarily. We don't have to. It would probably make it easier.
It
But I
was
think,
hard enough to get into Thalion, to
yeah.
get into probably the most guarded place in Thalion.
Well, if we are to take this on, I think the first point of action would be to escort the queen back into Thalion. Maybe.
I feel like Thalion's a dangerous place for her to be in.
It is. But we don't have a Thalion born to lead us through the past. If we were to take out this other queen, we need someone. We don't have Ran and can't. Going through that pass is basically a suicide mission without Ran.
If she has supporters, maybe there would be some or many that would be willing to help. But I doubt that they would be supporters out in the open, especially in Thalion.
Yeah.
I just
The
don't
only
understand.
thing-
I'm sorry, go ahead.
The only thing that I don't want to do is I don't want to get involved with the conduit.
I know, and that's what I was gonna say was I don't understand what we could do that the conduit wouldn't be able to do better in general.
I guess the only thing is we have more of a amiable presence. And we'll kind of say that, very sarcastically. A bit of a smile, but
Alicia looks like she would like to crack a smile.
Lasses, I admit I'm new around here. But it seems to me, and this is something that is also important to me because of where I've come from, Ran is a rather important person. Not only to you all as a friend, but to me as a possibility of something my people have looked for forever. The only way I can see us being of an assistance to Ran at all, if that is a thought, is to go along with this.
Wait, Crom, you're
If
almost
we
right.
Don't go along. We work on the outside and we have to find knowledge. If we go along, we at least get knowledge.
But wouldn't it just be easier to break Ran and her siblings out than to go into this fortress and remove the queen?
Not
Well, I
necessarily.
think-
That prison is so locked down and guarded.
But wouldn't the fortress be?
Yes.
Here's the thing. I wouldn't sign anything this time around, first off.
I
Y'all
did
learned
not
about
want
that,
to sign
right?
that.
I don't
Yeah,
think
no,
any
we
of us wanted to
We
sign
didn't have a
that.
choice last time.
we use the information, we can use what we learn
Along
from her, and we don't have to necessarily
commit to anything.
commit or do anything. We can just maybe help in little ways, but at the same time use that to our advantage so that we are more prepared and more able to help Rand.
If anything, I don't think this will be able to happen tomorrow.
No.
But, for example, we could even just, like, suggest an idea. Like, oh, Queen Scarlet, do you have any friends in higher places that would be willing to help you? I don't know. Maybe we can go deliver a letter to them. Boom, we've helped.
Maybe find a stronghold of hers that aren't in Thalion. Or Thal, or, God, sorry,
Dalian.
Thalion.
Did Crumb tell us that she used to be like a headmaster of the school? Or head deputy?
I
or
would say
something?
you guys alone would know that she was a deputy headmistress and a head of the school at one point in time. Just because you went to the school. There's probably portraits of her hanging up.
If she was deputy headmistress of fourth line, the other professors might help us. They might be friends.
They might, yeah. And at least maybe they would have a better idea as
Of how to go about this.
Yeah, or if it's even a good idea.
I'm going to suggest that they add a course. How to overthrow Queen 101.
How to use
You know, they say to prepare us for life, but I'm feeling really unprepared for this.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've never heard of a Let's Usurp the Queen class.
Okay. So maybe we return to Vivian and let her know that it's on the table. But we would like to reach out to Hawthorne first.
We can maybe ask her if there's anyone at Hawthorne.
a potential ally.
He'd probably know better
Yeah.
than we could, just going, hey, Professor, insert name here. Do you like Vivian Scarlet?
I'm not.
I would almost say we should cast a larger net than just Hawthorne. Bring Hawthorne up, but say, is there anywhere where we could find additional supporters of yours outside of Thalion, like Hawthorne, or you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Use Hawthorne as an example, but let's see if we can find, and that will help us with if we need
There
to
is
enter
another
Thalion.
path. The other rulers of the other kingdoms, they don't want a war, right? Maybe
would think
they
not.
help us reinstate this. Do you think they'd be willing?
We could potentially bring it up. I think Vivian would know. Or Alicia, do you have any insights from your royalty training?
Well, does she?
I would say you would know that, for one, there were at least 3 members of royal houses from various kingdoms at Hawthorne. There was Professor Platt, who is the king of Northern Cavia. Professor Kinsley, who is
Wait, the professors are actually royalty?
Shit.
Professor Kinsley, who is Grand Princess of Aberuthi.
Yep,
Yeah,
you did it.
thank
Good
you.
job.
Sweet, I got it. I did not open my NPC back there. And Professors, Kira and Jessa Bathia are both the queens of Everidgel. 2 of you would know very intimately.
Oh.
I was just waiting for you to say Colonel Mustard did it in the observatory with the candlestick.
No.
Yeah, just really quickly, who is the ruler of Shelley Aaron?
That would be the Kinsley family. So that is
Kinsley.
Charlotte at the moment. And
Yes.
I will remember her husband's name eventually.
Daniel.
Thank you, Nathaniel.
Okay. Alicia will reply to Fen with those names. They might be our first easiest contacts.
Hey, Care,
Hmm?
would my mother have done any work for the royal family in Doncaster?
It's possible. Roll a d20 for me. 10 or higher they have. No.
Guess not.
Oof.
They
That
did
would've
work
made
in
life so much
Doncaster, but not specifically for the royal family. Yet.
Yeah.
My mom's
And
the
Fen,
shit, just so y'all know.
Uh-huh.
Fen will kind of look at the ground and like dig her toe in, and she's like, "There is the Watchers. They're kind of good for keeping balance with stuff. I feel like this whole clean thing is, not really keeping the balance."
Yeah. But they could
I'm
only
very
do so-
uncomfortable talking about them out loud. Like her mom will know.
I'd say, like, everyone picks up the pen is uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Damn, that almost looked painful, kiddo.
It's okay. It's an option.
There's a story there I'd like to hear one day.
Well,
At least we can have a conversation. Bring up these points.
I definitely
See
would
what she
feel more
said?
comfortable with this, knowing that the other kingdoms also supported this act.
Yeah. That they backed you.
Yeah. Okay.
When you say, Care, when you say northern Cavia,
There's a northern administrative division and a southern.
Doncaster is the southern, right?
No,
Or is it
Doncaster's
the northern?
northern.
You talking like North and
uh,
South Korea or?
Turgara. What's it called? I can remember how to say these damn names.
That's not good.
I'm relying entirely on you guys for
Turgaron
pronunciation.
is essentially the quote-unquote capital per se. It's a larger city of the southern Kivia. Doncaster is the capital of the kingdom. Is essentially northern. It's about
I know
like
way too much about the rolling of all these different kingdoms, and sitting here like, oh yes, this goes like this, and this goes like this.
uh,
I was just gonna if I know that the king is in Hawthorne, there's no point in me trying to reach my
Well-
dad or my mom to try to reach out to Doncaster to get us information.
well, he's not there now. It's summer vacation essentially, or vacation. School's not in session right now. They just got out of school a couple months ago, or a month ago, ish.
When is school back in sesh?
Let me go to the
How long
calendar.
has it been?
Several days. A couple months actually.
I mean, how long has it been since we graduated?
I am looking that up right now.
For months?
Nope, hold on.
Maybe a year?
1 week.
The end of
God.
the school year
Bastards are busy.
was. Where are you? Come on. What's the first day? Come on. Where are you? Oh, there it is. The end of the school year was the 23rd of Exhauster. We've gone through Tricolor, Cornature, Langastor, Candistor. We're in Leor. No, we've gone through Leor. Gone through Shanazar. We're in Kalor. Actually, we're 3 days from Pip's birthday.
Happy birthday, Pip.
Spoilers.
The first day of the school year. Oh wait, maybe we have started school year. Hold on. Oh, never mind. The first of Kalor was the first day of the school year. So never mind. I guess he is there. But I'm sure he goes back and forth.
Back in session. Hey,
Well-
Professor Platt, we're gonna bust in through your etiquette lesson.
Who is the current headmaster of the school?
Professor Caligar.
Caligar. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, we're not that far from. We can try.
Yeah, it's actually kind of convenient.
I wonder
School has a forge,
why.
right?
The school is like just
No, they have a forge, right?
yes,
Yeah.
I think so.
Potentially. Probably.
Might not be a great one, but
I feel like Paragon would have known.
Yeah.
There's probably
Just the fact that Paragon
something, but
went
not
there,
much.
Sooner we can get,
Alicia's assuming.
the sooner we can find a forge, the happier I will be about a certain item.
But in order to potentially go that way, we probably need to run it by, you know.
yeah.
Okay.
Does anyone know why we chose here to hide?
Why is there a queen hiding in the basement of an abandoned building that's all knocked down?
Well, why did she cross into Relarian in the first place? Why not go to Cavia or Clarence or
And what
Aurelia?
was she
I mean-
hiding behind down there? There's more to that room down there than we saw.
Well, I mean, it is a hiding spot, so, I feel like there would be some magical protection around it. But I don't know much about magic.
Do we know if Vivian was a spellcaster? Was that ever mentioned in history?
You don't know. It's just kind of secretive. Don't know much about her. Well, not in that sense, I should say. But she doesn't. She's not known for casting much magic. If she does,
Hmm.
she's known for being very quiet when she needs to be.
Private.
Okay.
Calculating.
It sounds like we at least have a decision made.
A tentative.
Okay, you lasses have talked in circles. What's the decision?
I believe that we're going to talk to Vivian, let her know that we're going to Hawthorne. To
And to also ask her if there are any other people that you know.
yeah, yes, yeah. Please remember to mention that so I don't forget.
Will do.
And yeah, see, really, we're just looking to make allies. But we're not promising that we're doing this. We're just seeing if it's possible.
We're weighing our options.
Yeah.
I'm not swearing my axe to her, but I'm willing to go out and find her allies to let them know if she has messages to pass.
Right.
Yeah.
Here.
As we've seen, we're good at delivering messages. We got here in one piece, only lost
No.
3 members of our party along the way.
Oh. But to be
Dean,
fair,
what?
they didn't die.
I didn't die. Who knows? There's a war going, and Paragon's going off to the war, and who knows where Echo Prize flew off
He
to,
might
but
be dead.
he might be dead.
To be fair,
Rand might be dead soon, too, because she went off to go save her siblings.
Or in prison.
What's up, Nat? Pip.
um,
You're cutting right out.
yeah, it's alright. I forgot what I was gonna say.
Big crap.
Ran is alright, I'm sure of it. She knows how to take care of herself.
And to be fair, the members of our party, we didn't lose them. They left us. They chose that.
I was more referring, overarching.
Yeah.
It's been a really long couple of long travel.
Yeah.
It has been.
Well, did we go have that
Let's
conversation?
Yep, let's go. We can only delay it so long.
Okay. They go back down.
Alright, she kind of looks up as you descend. And it's kind of funny, as you're, because she's barely in the light, as you descend and look over, it's almost like she's, like, half invisible, but not really there.
Like
she's
in the shadows?
blending into the shadows.
Oh God, is it the ranger, the
The
Moonstalker
Gloomstalker?
ranger?
That would make sense.
That makes so much sense. Out of character.
My god. Even has the quiver.
Assassin.
I know.
What level is she?
Probably fucking 20. I don't know.
Vivian,
Yes?
we've decided that we're undecided, but it's not off the table.
I see.
We were wondering, other than us and possibly the conduit, do you have any allies at all that would possibly be able to help with this?
I'm sure I have plenty. It's getting in contact with them is tricky. Traveling
Be something
alone is
we could help
dangerous.
with.
Traveling alone can be dangerous. Let's put it that way.
Well, do you at least have a list of names and locations and...
Any particularly at Hawthorne, we do have some connections there. Could probably get in. Disguise it as alumni day.
I mean, I guess she kind of like, her nose kind of wrinkled up a little bit. She's like, well, I guess my sister's there.
Sister?
Yeah. No, not that I've spoken to her in years, but I'm sure she'd help. Maybe Destiny and that bullshit.
We're looking for more sure answers than maybes.
There's always
What's your sister's name?
Haley Drescher.
Okay.
Professor Drescher to you guys. Guardian Angel training professor. And no one actually knew that Vivian had a sister. And she kind of like sneers slightly at the thought, but she says, "No, it's Hamoa, I guess, if he's even still there." So there's always Hamoa, I guess, if he's still there. Professor Hamoa, the magical theory professor.
And I'm just curious, how do you feel your connection was with the other kingdoms? Your relations?
Maybe tenuous at times. Everyone has their bad days, but there was trade. There was cooperation when need be. We worked together.
I'm sure these other kingdoms would prefer a more peaceful.
I'm sure they would.
No one wants war, unless they stand to gain from it.
War can have its benefits, but this is more than war. This is tyranny. A horror tyranny.
And, what if we were to find a new dictator other than you?
She laughs at that and says, "Good luck. Only so many will dare try and take that spot. If there was such a person, I'm sure they would have taken it from the current reigning monarch." She kind of like rolls her eyes.
Yeah. Do we know the name of the current queen?
Zephora Litchfield. Well proclaimed to see took power. Zephora Field.
Okay.
Nothing like having a lich in Anfield in your name.
Yeah, that fills me with hope. And she's the current monarch.
Mm-hmm.
Did I forget anything? She looks
If we are to find your supporters or find people willing to support you, where do we head? I'm sure they will want to speak with you and meet with you. And
Or at
I'm
least
sure
have
you don't
word
want
that
to
it
do
is
that
you.
in
Well,
a cellar. Is there some place that you could arrange, or some place that we can tell them to go?
well, if you think you can protect me or hide me at the very least, I'm sure I can accompany you. The school is neutral ground. That could be safe. I believe it's back in session, is it not?
I believe so.
Yeah.
However,
That could be interesting.
the school may be neutral ground, but it's already had Italian fires inside, so I'm not sure
Her
it's the
eyes
safest place.
kind of flash. What do you mean, Italian spy? What happened?
We
Tell
all
me.
met actually, except for Crom. There's a Thalian spy, a girl. She was sent in, caused a lot of chaos, but we stopped her. But she revealed that she had been forced to work for Zephora.
Sorry, guys, I gotta go AFK for a sec.
Right. Tell me more about this girl. Was she from Italian?
Her name was Farah?
Farah. I don't know this name. I don't think.
She gave the impression that she was forced into.
Interesting. How was she forced? What did she do? What was her power? What was her ability? What made her
Well,
so
it's like-
endearing to this woman?
Been so long.
It was God. It was
Don't
Alex.
look at me, lasses. I wasn't there.
What was it? Speaking out of character, just me trying to remember everything. She told us, like, was it her family that she was worried about?
Her family, since she sold her to her.
Okay.
And she was given the amulet.
We're not
So she,
Yeah, I kind of
revealing the amulet just yet.
I kind of
that's,
figured.
that's the issue. It's like,
I kind of figured.
Not without some axe work happening here.
she was, she mentioned that she had been, like, given to Zephora by her family and was then granted magical prowess or whatever to essentially cause a lot of problems.
Despicable children. She kind of like pinches the bridge of her nose again and says, "If there's one thing I never did, I never used children against their will."
Wasn't the most pleasant thing.
I bet. So were you telling me you are the ones that stopped her?
Yeah.
Interesting. My friend was... Sounds like my friend might have been correct about you.
Except for Crom, he wasn't there.
Wasn't there. Never
You
met
kinda-
the friend.
She kind of lays her hand on her against her hand, resting, like elbow resting on the table, kind of like leans into her hand, kind of surveys you and goes, "I bet you don't look like someone that would have gone to Hawthorne." She kind of smirks.
Swing axes at things? Nah, not interested.
It's a fascinating school. But yeah. I will say. So, you wish to gather allies then? Then
Well,
what?
I don't think the four of us and you are going to take back a kingdom.
It would be tricky, that is for sure. I mean,
So,
there are ways
I
into the
would
palace in secret, of course, but
I think I can speak for all of us when I say I don't think we are prepared to offer our weapons to you at this time. But I also speak for all of us when we will say that we are interested in making sure there is no war. And if we getting you back on the throne can do that, it is of interest to us.
that
And we will
is-
do what we can to assist.
That is definitely a viable option. I don't suppose you any of you know what our ways are, how Stallion works.
I don't think I do. Would I?
Way about
No. You wouldn't really know the inner workings, no.
Ran was our best contact.
and she kind of poofed away about, what is it, 30 minutes ago now?
Yeah.
Yeah, but we know some things about spelling, right? Like that it's matriarchy, that it's pretty strict, that they have their own. Do we know that they have their own like school of magic? I guess.
School of combat.
School of combat.
I'd say you know that it's combat focused in that people work for what they want to do, but not quite the level of Cerelia. And that, well, I should say, the male sex has to work particularly hard, whereas females are kind of lauded.
Reverse glass ceiling.
Seen as superior.
Sounds like a drow city.
Drow or not, it's not by race here. But anyway.
I know. I'm just saying that's. I just had Menzel Barzaran pop into my head. I'm like, yeah, I think I've read about that place once or twice.
Yeah.
And I'll also bring up that they all know some basic Akrubic, except for Crom.
Alacia, I still have it noted down that Alacia knows the words for yes and no, but she doesn't know which one is which.
She does say, yeah, words. Well, if you could find allies would definitely be helpful, at least in providing distraction, possibly. What do you know about the Elite Guard? And you know nothing.
Not a thing.
Blank stare.
They
We know that it exists.
Yes, they are well known. They are a guard that is quite literally loyal, not to any one person, so not to me, not to even Zephora. They are loyal to the crown, and the crown specifically. She who wears that crown, they will protect with their lives. And they have very special abilities, shall we say.
Special how?
She kind
Special
of eyes you
magical
all. How much do you know about the fourth source of magic? What do you know about Dunamancy?
And once again, blank
What do
stare.
I want to know about Dunamancy?
No,
Can I cut it with an axe? Don't know much.
Do I know any? Would Pip know anything?
I'm gonna say roll a history check at. No, it's gonna be a fairly high DC. History check.
Would it be something dwarves would use?
Great roll.
in
No,
crafting?
no.
Like crafting a magical item.
No.
If it's not that, then the only way I would know of it would be what we can put into weapons and magical items.
Yeah, no, it's nothing. No.
So do I straight history roll?
Yeah, straight history roll.
Alright, not bad. 22.
Okay, I would say you would know that back during the Battle of Dreidel, wow, when Chaos and Harmony were quite literally blasted away from that battlefield, and their essences found, which is well known throughout known well enough throughout history, and you can piece this together with what Adelaide told you, that while everyone understands that Chaos, Harmony, and now Equipoise, as of the battle, are essentially, they're gods, but in a sense of they're quite literally the sources of all magic in the world. You know that there are certain scholars, mages, and researchers and such that discovered another source of magic, a source of magic that seems to give a person who can manipulate it the ability to manipulate reality, time, gravity.
Gods in themselves.
It's another.
This
Essentially
power wasn't formed from those gods, but a separate being, separate entity or
it's-
something.
It's not even an entity. It's just a source of magic that's time,
Separate.
reality itself.
Okay.
Non-holy in origin.
It's not fully understood, and most kingdoms don't even study it. It's generally, it was Salian and Cerelia that, from what is understood, are the ones that dove deeper into the study in their own respective degrees.
Does that mean the other schools of magic are, like, not fully religious, but in a way connected to harmony and chaos?
They're sources of magic, not schools of magic.
Okay.
So their powers wouldn't be considered divine. Like the
Um,
magic that they give us wouldn't be considered divine.
I mean, there's still arcane magic as a whole.
Yeah.
But it's just the source isn't. Yeah, the source isn't necessarily coming from a divine being, and even then they're gods, but they're not at the same time. They're just thought of as gods because they're so powerful. But yeah.
Someone reached level 30 in Wizard.
Yeah.
Well, in that case, what do you have any supporters in the greater prisons in Thelion? Would you know?
Prisons. Anyone in the
Yeah.
prisons was put there for a reason.
Well, I would imagine a lot of your supporters would have been put there.
It's possible, but there's no way to break them out. The prison of despondence alone is impenetrable. I've made it that way.
Then
More
you would know better
impenetrable
than anyone
than-
how to break in.
Pardon?
Say again.
Then you would know better than anyone how to break in.
I know that it is nigh impossible to break into the prison. I know there are ways to break into the palace, if one knows the way.
Oh.
I know that there is actually. She kind of like eyes around, her hand kind of clutches at the one amulet around her neck. She says, "I know there's a secret exit to the Palace of Bone." She kind of like sighs at that, like, I miss that place. Anyway, I know it's a bit of an escape route of sorts. Is basically how I escaped. You know, gotta have your ways. I know you could theoretically use it as an entrance. If someone opens it. Oh. No. You could use it as an entrance, it would just be difficult.
Okay. Does anyone else have anything?
Do you know who the current... What would not the leader, but the overseer, I guess, of the prison? Do you know who the overseer is? Of the
Tragedy?
prison of despondence?
Like a warden or something?
Yeah.
Pri-
The head honcho. Who's that?
Prison of Despondence is quite literally the Queen's prison. The Queen sits in judgment over it and who goes there. Other than that, they go to the Scarlet... Shit, I had this written down. How did I write this shit down? This is like Scarlet Prison. Really? 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 Wow, I don't know where those notes went. Anyway, it's like the Scarlet Prison or something. It's the general prison where most criminals go. The Prison of Despondence is for very special prisoners that the Queen runs.
Good to know. So,
I wouldn't say I do know the layout of that palace well. I designed it after all.
Be incredibly helpful time if the time comes.
There will be several elite guards. They're quite numerous. At least 2 will be with her at any point in time.
You mentioned Dune. Are they skilled in Dune?
To a degree, you could say they know how to manipulate reality, in a sense.
well, that's fun. Ben will literally just say out loud, like, yeah, well, I'm fun.
She kind of smiled at you.
If we were to learn Dunamancy somehow, would this help us defeat them?
Hmm.
I mean, we can't really go up against powers of gravity and time. That's pretty.
I mean, any magical force can be defeated with the right application of skills. It just takes. Yeah. But I will say one thing is, if we, at some point in time, were able to get me in there and distract them for long enough, or defeat her, or such, the moment, if I could get my hands on that crown, the moment it touches my head, they'd be loyal to me.
They would be.
You gotta.
That's a good thing to know.
If we were to escort you to Hawthorne, do you have anyone that
You gotta.
protect? Or... If we were to escort you to Hawthorne, do you have anywhere or anyone that would 100% protect you or be on your side?
Other than my sister,
You know of a safe place that you can hide while in Hawthorne?
I'm sure I could find my old office, possibly. My own chambers.
I would just like to say right now, I don't feel comfortable bringing you to Hawthorne. I'd rather not put the students at risk.
Oh. There will never be fighting on that hallowed ground. The fact
There
that,
has been.
not in the degree you're thinking of now. That's
I'd rather
petty
not bring
squabble.
any.
Or... I will say, if we can keep my existence there a secret, there should be no problem. I don't know. I've been going, shall I say, kind of crazy, being wild bananas, cooped up in this dank cellar. I'd rather keep moving.
Do you have a way of disguising yourself?
Not in so many words, but I know how to hide. It's difficult.
I mean,
I
And
I could probably disguise you somehow. I mean, I have the tools for it, but
I've got a sash. Helpful for me when we sneak around.
Alicia will actually move towards Pip and kind of lean in to just speak directly to her. Pip, I don't want to bring her, especially in that we haven't fully decided this is what we're doing yet.
what would you have?
We could go without her and make our own judgments.
Anything?
I think you cut out there a bit.
And leave her here?
I mean, I don't know about you, but I'm not the biggest fan of her anyways. And we'll be back if we do agree.
It's true. Then what do you think?
Ben wasn't paying attention because you were talking to him.
Yeah.
She was talking to just you. She's like, okay, have your privacy. But
With Pip's glance, Alicia will just scoot to pull Ben close. Crom's being left out of this. And she'll repeat the information that they just said.
Great, everybody hates the door.
I mean, if we could get to Hawthorne and ensure that there is someplace safe for her, or deliver a message from her to, her allies, we could then come back and get her, because then we'd know, and we wouldn't just have, a queen, just hanging around.
I feel more comfortable with that. At least let's gauge the situation before we make any rash decisions.
I'm okay with
Okay. They break.
Break.
that. Break forward.
She's just sitting there watching you the whole time and says,
Don't look at me,
So-
Queen. I'm just here to swing the axe.
she says, so you have a plan, I assume?
Well, we're going to look more into this. Like I said before, it's not decided.
You could reach out to your allies there at Hawthorne, ensure there's someplace safe for you there, and then bring the
Come
good
back for you.
news, if there is. Or, yeah.
Your Majesty, if you could write a letter or two to your closest allies that you think you have at the school, we will deliver that.
I could write a letter that indicates I trust you. And
And asking for their help, potentially.
I could do that. Just kind of pulls a piece of parchment towards her and writes one and signs it and says, this will, and kind of rolls it up and says, this should be good for anyone you feel might be willing to help.
Okay, so one general letter.
Would it be best to go to Professor Dretcher or Hamoa?
She kind of winces at Hamoa's name.
Not Hamoa then.
I mean, the man is powerful. Given who he is, it's not surprising, but...
Professor Platt then?
Platt's clever. He is royalty, of course, and quite high up. That could be interesting, yes.
And your sister?
Maybe bring her in if it... We'll see if it seems prudent to you. She's a guardian angel, of course, an archangel, whatever. Yeah. Kinsley, I'm sure, has got some sort of tactic up her sleeves.
Well,
Trust Kinsley? Queen Kinsley?
She's clever.
let's hope that you were still on their good side.
I'm sure I am. She kind of smirks.
Of course, we can always stick with the good old plan of, hey, do you want to stop a war?
That's always a good plan too. I'm sure them learning I'm alive will be an excellent idea too.
You know that once we deliver this message, there's no guarantee that they'll keep it quiet, right?
They're not stupid people. I'm certain that they. She kind of thinks, and nobody gotta scribble an extra note to it. I'm sure they will understand that it's of importance to remain quiet on this knowledge.
And I suppose we should be on our way.
Alright. Do any of you have the ability to contact me if need be?
I do.
Points to Alicia.
She nods and says, alright. Do keep me informed.
We'll let you know.
Mm-hmm.
Alright. And they head back up.
Oh, before they go back up, Fen will pull out. I wrote it down, actually. I found where I put it. The 8 bottles of wine I had left over from where we found the goggles. She will bring out a bottle of wine and be like, oh, pass the time? Bring out 2 bottles of wine.
She kind of looks at it and goes, interesting.
It's not blood wine, but you know, it looks good.
Interesting.
Crom heads over to the ladder. I'm out of here before the wine tasting starts.
Alicia will follow Crom, actually.
Fen's just like dropping it and going.
Yeah.
Okay, with that you all reascend the ladder, and are you headed straight for Hawthorne then?
I suppose so. I'm guessing it's still like morning, midday.
Yeah. You got like you got a few days travel. 1 second.
This time with Crom next to them.
I was gonna say, we could technically portal, but Crom hasn't been to Hawthorne.
All right.
Roll a
Could we hold on to him and portal?
actually roll a history check then.
I mean, portal nearby. Where is
Are
my?
the
There it
personal
is.
portals like one person only, or can you hold on to someone?
You portal yourself, yes.
Okay.
I would say with that history check, you know that portaling into Hawthorne probably not a great idea.
Yeah.
Alright, is the wards.
It is a warded location, yes.
Could you portal like 5 miles outside of Hawthorne?
It generally has to be a named location.
Got it. Walking it is.
We could go to Fallon. That's still quite far.
It's even farther than Hawthorne.
Yeah.
I mean, we could portal to Fallon's, you mean?
But we can't.
Yeah, and
leave
walk
Crom.
down.
Crom has never been there. So he could
No,
try,
never been there.
but there's always a risk. I would say just innately you
Feet
know.
are good.
I would say innately you know with portaling that, while it's potentially possible to portal to somewhere you've never been, is incredibly risky, and there's a chance you're going to end up not where you expected to be.
I wouldn't
Entirely
mind.
fair.
I wouldn't mind walking anyways. Well, or taking turns on rhubarb anyways.
Yeah.
Taking the old road back.
Back through the forest.
Yeah.
It's about a 3-week and 6-day journey.
My God, is there like any like stops on the way, or how do people make it without huge caravans?
It's a very large forest. They tend to come prepared.
Oh man.
Maybe there's a few little hamlets.
Hopefully.
Nah, this
Forest people.
Maybe the small little villages. You never know.
Alright. They start making their way.
Making our way back to Hawthorne's home. We can stop a war. Step aside, Pip. I'm the bard now.
I'm going to say I think we might end it there a little earlier because I'm tired and it's starting to get a little bit late.
Yeah, I'm fine with that. I feel like we made pretty good headway,
nice,
and we
nice
have
headway. We got a direction.
yeah, lots of good role play.
So much good roleplay.
I like that Crom got to and my axe moment.
I've been looking for one of those, and I got a Han Solo quote in for in the same day. I'm having a great one.
Yeah, that's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
That was good.
I even snuck a Clint Eastwood quote in there.
Oh, I missed that one.
I tried to be reasonable, but I didn't like it.
Yeah.
It's one of his spaghetti westerns.
Nice.